everyone, it's John from WoT, and welcome back to another video. And I have some very special guests with me today. We have Rourke, Koala, and Terry Sadai, and they're here to talk about a couple of different things. A podcast, some cards, and a fundraiser, amongst other Wheel of Time stuff. So I'll let them introduce themselves and talk just a bit about what they do and where they're at in social media. So Rourke, you want to start?
Yeah, hi, I'm Rourke. I'm one of the hosts of Watchparty Wheel of Time. You can find us at Watchparty on Twitter or Instagram, or WoTWatchparty.com for links to all of our episodes. We are a fun podcast. I just came up with the idea for this podcast because I know Wheel of Time inside and out, and I was never going to be able to watch the show with fresh eyes for the first time. And so I reached out to several of my friends, and little did I know that 6 of them would answer the call, and none of them had read the books and were willing to go into the show and watch it with me. And so now we have a co-host as well, and it's 8 people strong, and we watch all the episodes, and we've gone into deep lore discussions. We've discussed all the characters. We've hit a lot of the points Michael Livingston hit, as a matter of fact, before the book came out. It was quite incredible to see these new show watchers really delve that deeply and find all of that already. So yeah,
that's pretty cool. So we have Koala and Terry here as well, and they are pretty active on social media, and they have some special things that they do that they release intermittently here and there, and I'm sure those of you who've already watched the channel have seen them before, but they do Wheel of Time cards, which are absolutely fantastic because, let's face it, Sony and Amazon really dropped the ball when it comes to merchandise, and the fans are picking it up, and they're absolutely amazing. I've seen a couple of them myself, but they're actually going to feature a couple of cards today, later on in the episode. But why don't you tell us just a little bit about how that came to be and what you folks are doing with it?
So the cards were an idea between us to, one, do something Wheel of Time related together, because we both love it and it's something that we've managed to form a really, really good friendship over. I think I dragged Mum into the community a few years ago when I found out the show was in production, and she's kind of outpaced me a little bit with community involvement. But it's been really fun to make them together and just do some content creation that we never really thought we would be doing.
It has been really special for me because, you try to be friends with your kids, but they've often got really different things that they want to do in life than what you're doing. And so to actually have something that we're both really into has made it a really different kind of friendship than what I've got with the other kids, because we say Wheel of Time and they all roll their eyes, whereas Tari and I can just get in and nerd right out.
So it's safe to say she's your favorite then.
Time, so. Well, I guess we do have some golden child jokes that go through the kids. And when it comes to WoT, yeah, Tari's definitely the golden child.
I'm the golden child always.
Oh, always, yeah. So far as how we then became involved with Watchparty WoT, I have been following the Wheel of Time Facebook group that Rourke is a part of, and it's funny because the show came out and I was consuming so much content that it was a little bit ridiculous, but for some reason I wasn't linking into Rourke's podcast, and I'm not sure how long the show had been finished. It had probably been finished a month or two when finally Rourke did one of his posts on Facebook, and I thought, you know what, I should go and look at that. And if you have not been listening to that podcast, you got to go and do it, because I just binged through it within a week or so of all of their episodes.
And I think that's
It
40,
is
48 or
just
49
gorgeous.
episodes now, isn't it, Rourke? That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yes,
There's a
yes,
lot
we
of
are
them.
coming up on 50 very soon, yes.
Well, this was, like back earlier last year, so I have then been able to, listen to them as they came out. It's funny, when you start binging something, you get really disappointed when you catch up. Because then you're like, now I've got to wait like everybody else. I was really enjoying just going, next episode.
I have that same problem.
So-
We get done recording an episode, and I just want to start recording another one, so...
You should just mic on all the time,
And it was
24/7.
like that.
I'm the one who has to edit it, though, so...
I hear you. Editing is what really takes the time. But it was like that when I came on as a guest, when you had fans on as a guest, and we recorded 2 podcasts in a row. And, in some ways, we could have all kept going for a 3rd episode because we were just having so much fun, but we really did all have to go. What I love about that podcast, though, is that you get this huge range of reactions to everything that's been happening in the show, as you like, particularly in the episode by episode podcast, and you're hearing not just one non-reader, but you've got a whole bunch of them, and how Ruark does it is, just amazing, because I don't know how I would go taking somebody through without spoiling things.
I can answer
Because
that
when
question
you've
for you
got
right
a
now,
bunch
and
of
the
people-
answer to that is legalized weed.
It's got to be hard,
It's a
though.
lot easier... it's a lot easier to not react if your reaction time is measured in full seconds.
Now, see, I can empathize and sympathize with your situation, because I had Ali and Gus on the channel, and I was told, this is how far Ali has gotten. Don't go beyond here when you talk about it. And of course, me being me, I ruined 2 or 3 things well beyond where she had read, and at first they didn't pick up on it, but then later on they were like, "What?" And I was like, "No, nothing." Like, oh, I felt so bad. But I couldn't imagine with a whole bunch of them. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really hard because, because no matter how often I've read the books, I can't remember exactly where in the timeline certain some things might slot, like I'll know some things, but then I would be likely to just blurt and then go, oh, was that not before then?
Oops.
Yeah, it's very hard.
oops. So Koala, you have a couple of cards for us. I hear that you're going to premiere tonight on the show.
Indeed. So, as some people might know, we have also, as well as the general edition cards, which are all the characters from the show, we've also been doing limited edition special cards, and one of those series are content creator cards. And so content creators that have been jumping in and supporting our cards, as a thank you, they get cards. Now, with a panel and 2 hosts, we decided we needed to just do 2 cards because it was just going to be too many faces all on one card at a time. So we did a card for the panel and a card for the hosts. And do you want to pick that one up? We've actually got even printed versions of them here, but John will show much better versions.
We'll show them up here on the
you get a
screen
bit of a
now,
feeling
yeah.
there as to how big. Yep. So you get a bit of a feeling there as to how big they print out. Which makes them kind of like, poker card type size, that make them great for collecting and for playing games with. And some other times we'll talk about games that we've been developing with the cards. But those are a big thank you to Watchparty for both the content that they've been providing and also for some support that they've been giving to me in particular, for some real world stuff that I'm doing. And I think I'll let Ruark talk about what that is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the cards, Koala and Tari Sedai. Those are wonderful. They're amazing, and I can't wait to share them with the rest of the cast. And as you were saying, I am doing a fundraiser. It is for Koala Sedai because, as we were saying, Koala Sedai does a lot for the Wheel of Time community. She helped set up our Discord server for Watchparty Wheel of Time. She helps moderate the live streams for Matt Hatch's show. She works with several other podcasts doing all kinds of things. She and Tari are putting out these cards and doing something for the community, and all of that. And she's tireless in doing it. She keeps volunteering for more things. And because of all of that, I worked with her to set up a donation page where we're going to donate money to her koala sanctuary. That's right. Koala Sedai actually runs a koala sanctuary in Australia. And we have a goal. That goal is I think it'll be easy to hit. It's $1,000. But I want to see us hit that goal and maybe go beyond. But at $1,000, my spouse will put online a video of me. We'll just say it's a very embarrassing video. Filmed while I was very drunk and doing karaoke at a goth convention without a karaoke machine.
That's amazing.
Yes. So if you don't care about saving the koalas, you can care about seeing me get completely and utterly just embarrassed in front of everyone.
That's amazing. So what I'll do...
I am putting my pride on the line.
So what I'll do is I'm going to leave a link down below, a link to the Wheel of Time Watch Party podcast. They're on Apple, Spotify. Where else are you folks?
We are on all the major podcasts.
Oh, okay, so I'll leave links to them down below. I'll leave links to Rourke, Koala, and Terry Sedai's social media, so you can all follow them over on Twitter and Instagram, any other social media they have, Facebook and stuff, if they so wish. If it's not there, it's because they told me no. But I'll leave that all down below, and I've also left a link to the fundraiser itself. So if you folks out there want to donate to save the koalas or see Rourke completely embarrass himself, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, if they do meet their goal, maybe I should do something too, but I don't know what, because I don't really have any embarrassing videos. So how about?
Well, maybe we'll have to make an embarrassing video with you.
I could do that. I love embarrassing myself. It's lots of fun. So we'll do that. If they make the goal, I'll do something as well. I do have a Gowan tattoo. Yeah, it's not embarrassing though. I'll show everybody that. It's right there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's absolutely so. If you folks want to donate out there, I've left a link down below in the description box. Absolutely, toss a couple of bucks to save the koalas or see Rourke embarrass himself. Now. And
I do want to point out, that's $1,000 Australian, which is actually easy to hit, because if you donate $1, that only costs you 70 cents American.
And to my Canadian fans out there, it's $4.50. So... So before we get into anything else, I do want to talk about the show and the books a little bit. I think we should probably give a bit of a spoiler warning, because I usually give a spoiler warning when we talk about specifics about things here on the channel. And how far do you think we're going to go with spoilers with this? Do you want to do full series? Do you want to do just the first couple books so we can talk about the show? How far do you folks want to go?
I'm game for anything.
I'm always happy with full spoilers, because then I can't mess up.
All right, so here we go. So we're going to go a spoiler warning for the entire series. So spoiler warning. We're going to talk about elements of the Wheel of Time show and the book series that will spoil absolutely everything. So if you haven't watched the show on Prime Video, that's episodes 1 through 8. And if you haven't read all 14 books of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson, including the prequel, including, let's say, also all of the short stories, I'm going to ruin just about everything. So you might want to dip out right now. All right, final warning. All right, they've all dipped out. Gowan and Egwene die in the last battle. So there we go. All right. If you stayed, it's your fault. It's not mine. I ruined it for you because, well, I told you to leave, but no one listens to me. All right, so let's just go around here.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite character dies. I mean, it's not great, but he deserved it, I guess. So who's you folks all know my favorite character is Gowan. What are your favorite characters in the books? We'll go with the books first, then we'll go with the show afterwards.
Well, I think that would be fairly obvious in my case.
He's not in the show yet, so that books absolutely.
That is true.
Yeah, books absolutely.
Yeah, from the books, yeah, Ruark. I've just always identified with Ruark in books. Not only are we physically very similar, but I try to be like Ruark in ways, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the name I was born with, but it is the name that I use now. So that should tell you how important the character is to me.
Very good. Now, show. If you had to pick one from the show.
Ooh.
Only people we've seen on screen.
Only people that we have seen on screen. I'm going to have to go with Alexander Wilhelm's portrayal of Tom.
Oh, so good.
That portrayal of Tom, it was amazing. It blew me away. I loved the trade up from the harp to the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I loved his I love his Tom Waits style delivery. I mostly love that because that means I can now do covers of whatever he does in the show.
So what do you think of him not being in season 2?
Considering that Tom is really only in book 2 for
he's a big character, very small,
and, yeah, very small moments in book 2. I don't see it as a big issue. He doesn't pick up until later in the series anyway, so yeah.
All right, so now we'll move on to Koala and Terry. What are your favorite characters? Books. We'll go books first.
Well, mine's the same for book and TV show.
Oh, very good.
Sorry, Nae'blis. She's always
No.
my girl. Always.
Walk softly and carry a big stick. Yeah, absolutely.
I do like how they wrote her in the show.
Mhm.
I think she still has plenty of room for character development
Yep.
she has in the books without being quite so abrasive.
But you got to admit, abrasive Nynaeve
And the casting was just
is
superb.
good.
Funny. Yeah. Love her.
So what about you, Koala? We'll say books and show. Which favorite characters? Same, different?
Okay. They're different because my favourite character from the books hasn't appeared in the show yet. My favourite character, I actually really have 2 that I struggle with saying which is the favourite, but I'll have to go Varen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely adore Varen. Yeah. So
See, I'd love to see a spin-off with just her.
She tricked me all the way through. Yeah.
She tricked a lot of us all the way through, I think.
She tricked me all the way through. Yeah. And that was what I particularly loved about her was finding out her story at the end. The first read through, a lot of the time I only took a little bit of notice of her. But once you've read the whole series, then Varen just becomes a really big part of it all the way through. So I'll be looking forward to seeing how they depict her in the show. And in the show, I think I've got a very different character that was my favourite. It's Padden Fane.
Oh, yes.
I really, really liked the way he has been set up, and I just watched that actor and I just go, oh my God, as we watch him go on that downhill spiral, he is going to be brilliant. So
Yeah. He was a fantastic casting.
Yeah. So,
One thing that I realized about
There
this
you go.
portrayal of Padden Fane the other day is that whistle. The whistle that they used to introduce him in every scene. It suddenly dawned on me that it reminded me of Omar from The Wire.
See, I've never watched The Wire, so I
Okay.
don't know.
And nobody's seen The Wire, so
Yeah, I
once
know.
again, one of my references falls on deaf ears.
I'm sure people out there watching the video have seen The Wire and they know exactly what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
but no, he was fantastic. I thought
And
he
did
did
you
a. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we kind of had a little bit of a glitchy thing then on this end. Did you hear recently that Lorne was saying that he came up with that whistle in the bath? He was sitting.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he.
I saw
up with
that.
Tune that he whistles. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I love Lorne because he actually engages with the fandom, regardless of how incredibly important and famous he is. Because he scores all kinds of incredible movies and TV shows, and yet he still gets on Twitter and says hello to people like us.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I do want to ask all of you here, what are you hoping to see in Season 2? And now we all know that we would like to think we know the flow of Season 2, but of course we all thought that before Season 1 dropped, and it was completely different than what we expected. What do you hope to see? What is one thing that you really, really would like to see on screen for Season 2? I think we'll start with Koala first this time. We'll put you on the spot right away.
Put me on the spot. Okay. I mean, there are things that I think we've got a good idea will happen to a degree, but I think the Sean Chen have really got me intrigued, and how we're going to. It's not so much, the collaring of the Damani, but how Egwene and the Sean Chen, how that is going to play out on screen. That's got me really, really sort of wondering how they're going to do it, because Madeline is, she's just nailing Egwene's character. So it's going to be heartbreaking to watch her go through that. But on my re-listen this morning, I was just listening to the scene where the Sean Chen attacked the White Tower and Egwene defending everything. And so I think that's really made me start thinking about that beginning setup that we're going to see in Season 2 with her first encounter with the Sean Chen. So, yeah, that's mine.
And just with Madeline Madden, she's an Indigenous Australian actress, and she's doing us so proud. She's amazing.
And she comes from here. I live on Bundjalung country.
Bundjalung country, yeah.
Oh, so she's from where you're, like, near you.
Yeah.
Very good. I didn't know that. That's absolutely amazing.
I know.
Very cool.
So proud of her. Yeah.
So cool to see an Indigenous Australian actress in such a iconic and big role.
So
yeah, because when we, as book readers, we all know what her character is going to do. Where she's going to go. So to see a young Indigenous actor in that role is just, and not just that, but she's nailing it.
She's amazing.
The fact that she is Egwene through and through is fantastic.
I'd like to think that almost everyone, maybe not everyone, but almost everyone in the show really, really nailed their characters well. And did a fantastic job portraying them. The main cast especially, but I would say that pretty much everyone did. And I know there's been some talk in the fandom about changes and differences between how some characters were set up and some of their backstories and whatnot, but I think that the way they did things was very smart, because you're able to see how they're going to act later on and understand it, rather than the internal monologues and all the pages and pages of just script, rather than you just see Matt's traumatized youth, you see Pear's hesitance to use violence. It's all set up immediately, and I think all the actors and actresses in the show really do a good job setting it up. Now, Terry, absolutely, what do you want to see in Season 2? Let's see what you want to see.
It's hard to pick just one thing. But I've always really enjoyed the way the Battle of Falmer was written. Like, the battle in the clouds mirroring the battle below. And I'm really intrigued to see how they do that on screen, and if they try to do that same parallel that they did in the books. And I also just want to see the Heroes of the Horn. I want to see Vegeta.
I think we've seen some behind the scenes stuff. I know I definitely did a video on it where we do see some of the Heroes of the Horn. They are on set. They are at the Battle of Falma.
Yes.
So.
And someone who looks like she could be.
Yeah, someone who looks an awful lot. That's Ragnars from Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I think, fan favorite right now. Almost everyone in the fandom has pretty much decided that's who she will be, regardless of who she plays in the show. She will
if
be
they
that.
cast her as anyone else, then they did it wrong.
Yeah, we will riot.
Yes.
Right.
And the fact that they had the Vegeta doll in season 1.
Oh, that was
to set that all up.
That was
Yeah.
gorgeous, wasn't it?
That was really neat.
There's no way.
Yeah.
That she's not going to be. I think she'll be in
Is
season
that
2.
her over there? Look, and saying that, there's a Vegeta doll card.
Look at that.
Oh.
All right, so Rourke, what do you want to see?
Oh, what do I want to see? I would like to see. I'm super excited to see Ayula Smart portraying Avienda. When that casting announcement was made, I was over the moon. It's such a great casting, and I cannot wait to see her in action. I hope we get to see the spray.
Well, we have Bale, so hopefully.
Hopefully. There's so much. I want to see Barthanes' manor. I want to see. I want to see the portal stones. I doubt we'll get the portal stones. I think they're probably just going to use waygates, but I would still want to see the flicker.
Yeah, oh yeah, we want to see that.
Yeah.
Now, me, of course.
They can flicker through a
Oh,
waygate.
maybe they could flicker through a waygate. I mean, they've changed a few other little things here and there. They could tweak that so the waygates could do both. Maybe it's possible.
It's just occurred to me saying that maybe that's why they have Moraine using the one power to open the waygate, so that is set up to be able to do the flicker
There's steps too.
in a waygate.
Yeah.
There is steps leading to the
yeah.
waygates, just like there is up to the portal stones in the books. So
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
possible.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So maybe that's why they did it.
All right, so I
You heard it here first, folks.
Koala got it right, everybody. She's seen the scripts, I'm sure. So I'm sure you all know what I want to see in season 2. That's Gowan. I'm super excited to see my favorite character on screen, and I'm super excited to see how they portray him, because we've seen some of the audition scripts and takes for him, and they seem to mirror his character pretty good. But I'm interested to see who plays him, because I know who doesn't play him, and he was a fan favorite for a while that everyone thought was Gowan. It was Jay Duffy, but I know he definitely doesn't play Gowan, so there is that. But I'd be interested to see who they pick.
Yeah. Definitely. Both Gowan and Galad, I'll be really interested to see how they do their characters. Contrary to almost everyone in the fandom, I don't hate Galad and
I do.
Gawain.
Yeah.
Like, I think Galad has slightly better character development, but Gawain is a product of his environment.
He's written so
And I
well.
don't
He's just a
think
hot
he's
mess.
intentionally- Yeah, he is.
So-
he is, and I can relate.
So I have this theory about Gawain. Okay, we have our Taviran in the books, where the pattern weaves itself around them and weaves people closer to them. I think Gowan is an anti-Taviran,
Oh, that's a good one.
where the pattern just weaves itself away from him. So whatever he does is the wrong thing.
He's like Brad Pitt in Bullet Train, just pure bad luck magnet. All right. Well, before we go here, any last thoughts from you folks before we wrap up? Anything you want to mention that's coming up, maybe on the channel or things like that? Things coming up in the podcast?
Let me think for a second. We haven't really planned out our podcast for the year yet.
What do you hope to do? Let's put it that way. What are you hoping to come up with later on this year?
Later this year we're going to be rewatching season 1 in anticipation of season 2 and going through it again. I'm really excited to hear how our panel is going to react now that I've given them a lot of backstory and lore in the world to see what they pick up on this second run through. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And Koala and Terry, I hear you folks may have printed versions of the cards available at WotCon. Possibly, maybe.
That is the
For
plan.
WotCon, yeah. Do you know what we've just done just before coming here is we've just gone and put our passport applications in. So
Very good.
We are getting closer and
Wonderful.
closer to heading over to WotCon, and we will have what we call in Australia a shitload of cards with us to give away to people, and some games corners set up to play games that we're developing with the cards as well.
Very good. So if you folks that are watching the channel don't know what WotCon is, I've left a link to that down below as well in the description box. You folks want to check that out. It is another Wheel of Time convention. Now, there are two major ones in North America, or in the US, we'll say, each year, and JordanCon and now WotCon. WotCon, this will be the second year for WotCon, and it's created by a lot of the content creators in the community, and they all come together and they work very hard on that, and it was a big success last year. So if you folks can't make it to JordanCon, that is another Wheel of Time convention in the States that you could go to if you're from the States.
And I will be attending WotCon myself this year. So
There you go. So there's
I
all
won't
kinds
be
of
having any cards. Yes, I won't have cards with me like Koala said but I will stand in a corner and loom menacingly.
There you go. All right, well, I want to thank you all for being here with me today. This was absolutely fantastic. I had a lot of fun. And again, links to all their socials is down below. Links to the Wheel of Time Watch Party podcast is down below. And, of course, the Koala fundraiser, so you can see Rourke embarrass himself, and maybe I'll do something too. We'll see. But donate to that if you can. And I want to thank you all very much for sticking with us here to the very end. And here's to many more.